Hello and welcome to A Furry's Guide for How to Not Totally Suck at Commissioning. Here we have our two subjects. Subject 1, the commissioner, and Subject 2, the artist. As we go along, we'll be covering various topics that are relevant to either the commissioner or relevant to D. I mean the artist. Section 1, choosing an artist. Since the artist rarely chooses his or her commissioners, unless they're really aggressive and are handling firearms, then most of the responsibility in this topic will lie with the commissioner, i.e. the person buying, or the furson buying if you want to get all subculture-y and weird with your vocabulary, like the Murray, Purry, Furry, McFlurry, drinking hurry-durry that you are. First, match the style with the style that you want. If you're looking for a postmodern realism, cubism, Satanism picture, and you employ an artist that does impressionistic roundism Catholic stick figures, then you will likely suffer some disappointment in the product. Look at the examples they have available to figure this out. And just look, mind you. Don't take, fondle, lick, or ask the artwork out for a romantic evening on the town, unless you buy it. Then still don't. Conversely, for artists, have references available, both online and off. If you've never used the internet, there is some useful information for how to use the internet on the internet. For commissioners, if you're unsure if an artist can or is willing to do what you want, just ask, especially if you have special formats you're expecting your artwork in, like digital, ice sculpture, or binary language punch card. Finally, offering artistic freedom versus specifics. Some artists work better with a bit of freedom, while others need specifics. Most artists who need more specific information will ask for more specific information, unless they are mute. Section 2, character references. You'll need to provide a character reference if you want your character to look like a character and not meatloaf. Number 1, keeping it to the point. 6 to 12 bullet points on important features will be much more useful to the artist in terms of focus than 6 to 12 copies of War and Peace with the protagonist names crossed out and your character scribbled in. Next, images versus written description. Both of these are acceptable in modern-day furryism. Obviously, if you have no character yet, you're limited to written, or telepathy, so spend some time consolidating. If you only have images of your character that you think are crappy to present, point out what you think is crappy about those images. Unless said crappy images were done by the artist right next to the one you're currently commissioning. Next, offering the best of both worlds. Obviously, it's best to have one concise sheet with a good combination of an image and text at the ready. If you've only got one, and you're rather partial to it, and it was carved into a golden plate by Raphael, and that Raphael wasn't a Ninja Turtle, then do yourself a favor and make copies of it to hand out instead. Now, do you offer printed references or digital references? More and more artists are trying to be digitally capable at cons. Unless, of course, they're actually not doing that. Therefore, it's up to the commissioner to be ready with both, if at all possible. Finally, the need for more information. This is all you, artists. If a commissioner says, "Draw Greg," and you say, "Okay," and you honestly think that's enough to go on to get something accurate done, then you better be ready for a bad reaction. I mean, if you are Greg, then that might be cool, but even then, I doubt it. Don't be afraid to probe your buyer for more. You may now laugh if you choose, due to the use of the word probe. Probe. Section 3, table etiquette. This could be the most important section, except for all the other sections. First, say hi and be sociable. It can be easy to forget simple greetings and jump right into your love of various types of soup when you've been stalking an artist online for 5 years and you feel like you know them already. Conversely, as an artist, it can be easy to forget simple greetings and yelling $39.95 when you've dealt with 500 furries who start their conversations with their love of soup. Sometimes, observing traditional conversation is the best way to keep each other sane. Appropriate small talk. Not everyone is comfortable talking about dog going into cat with on their while f***ing on a boat. Ease into these things for the love of. It's important to remember that artists aren't ignoring you. Artists that draw while you're talking are doing their best to process the demands of the creative side of the brain, which is telling them what to draw, as well as the logic side of the brain, which is analyzing your words, or possibly telling them to run and go get shots of tequila. Try to not take offense and be patient when their focus is thusly divided. Artists allow for quiet browsing. If you've done your job and provided some examples for your guests to peruse over, try not to sigh a huge "I am annoyed" sigh at them while they're doing so. Also note that some potential buyers like to make 3 or 4 or 98 rounds around the convention before they decide on a purchase. Try to be accommodating. Back to the commissioners, table blocking. Remember, the artist is there to make money as well as have fun. They appreciate being told that you enjoy their work, even if you can't afford to buy anything they offer. Or food. But please, keep it quick and move along, allowing other potential paying customers to talk to the artist. It's not appropriate to ramble on for 2 hours on how you caught all 300 of your Pokemon. Sometimes, for both commissioner and artist, it's hard to get each other's attention. Whether it's a commissioner attempting to rouse the artist from their work to make an inquiry, or an artist asking someone with that look of interest if they like something, sometimes furries just don't know how to break the ice. It's easy. Just say, "Do pardon me, madam." It's the classiest thing you can possibly say, unless you're talking to a sir. This brings us to general awareness of each other. Have you lingered too long at the table? Have you completely blown off the commissioner? Are you leering over the artist while they draw your piece? Are you leering over the extended edition of Lord of the Rings instead of drawing? Do you smell terrible? Do you smell terrible? It's somewhat easy to see how you're affecting the person across the table if you just do some regular checks on each other's facial expressions, or failing that, their remaining stockpile of ammunition. Section 4, Conventions versus Online. In both situations, it's very important for the commissioner to leave contact information. Put your name and info in your sketchbook. Leave a card. If you're a tinfoil hat-wearing paranoid, you can make an email address or a Skype account for the sole purpose of getting one commission, and then cutting off all contact and hiding in a cave while you look at it for several years on end. For both commissioner and artist, it's proper to discuss the level of finish that the artwork will be in. Discuss this, but it's also good practice for the commissioner to consider everything at a convention to be a sketch, no matter what you get, because there is no time for revisions at a con. There is no time for revisions at a con. Time. There's none of it. At a con, there's no time for revisions. Time like I'm speaking, there's not that time. No time for revisions at a con. There is no time for revisions at a con. Section 5, Artist Etiquette. Shockingly, this section will mostly pertain to the artist. First, grin and bear it. If a customer happens to have an abrasive or annoying personality, or an annoying personality, or perhaps an annoying personality, do your best to accommodate it within reason. Saying no politely. If you get a request to draw a tentacle, a camel, and that's not really your cup of tea, it's much more amicable to say, "So sorry, I don't really deal with that material," rather than saying, "Go eat a flaming bag of shit." Customer care. Artists, this is a skill. You should work on this skill. It's a skill to make your patrons feel important to your business. It's how to get repeat business. If you want to fail at your business, then your business has no business not giving your customers the business. Trades, when and how to ask. Temperament is going to be so drastically different from artist to artist that it can be difficult to initiate a trade and know what to expect. At cons, the best thing you can do is hope to time it correctly. The best times to ask for trades are either before the day's work has started, during a casual conversation between each other, or later in the evening in the casual gathering places, or while making sweet love together. Section 6 or something. Workload versus promise. Taking on what you can handle. Artists, no matter how accommodating you want to be, it's better to tell the masses you're full, rather than offering too many spots and then suffering the pain of not delivering, whereupon you will become a pariah and food for lulz.net. Next, taking work home with you. It's fine if you want to please people more than Justin Bieber wants to destroy music, and therefore take projects back to the hotel room or even after the con for later completion. Just make sure to discuss this with your patron. If you're living with your parents and your commission happens to be pornography, you shouldn't be living with your parents. Finally, examples. Try to match your product with your examples. That is, don't put fully rendered works of high art in your example portfolio, then give your commissioner a used shrinky-dink that's on fire. Section 7, the section no one wants to talk about or hang around. Disappointment. There are only two perspectives here, so commissioners, if you've received a disappointing piece of artwork, you have a few options. First, move on, say thanks, and bitterly never commission the artist again. 2, if revisions were put forth as part of the bargain, then give 2 or 3 max things you'd like changed. 3, say you love it, and then hack the artist's Facebook page and upload illegal photographs from 4chan. Finally, we come to our last section, pricing and tipping. Artists, you won't want to hear this, but have no expectation for tips. Some of your patrons spend months and months and months donating embarrassing bodily fluids just to be able to afford your artwork. They're doing the best they can. Conversely, commissioners, if you have the means and you like what you got back, have some courtesy. All it takes is not downloading your 815th Steam game to give the artist who gave you something cool an extra $5. Okay, fine. $3. Okay, 11 cents. We hope you have enjoyed this production of A Furry's Guide for How to Not Totally Suck at Commissioning.